Alright, let's try a different look on this one. Pop, classical, country, funk, acid. Makes me look like Hulk. No filter. I think we're good with no filter. What is up? What is up? What is up? Hello, 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 hello. Gadgetwala is in the house, and today I'm finally coming around to doing a review of a phone that a lot of you guys have been asking me about. And if the title is something, if you understand the English language, it might be self-explanatory for you. The Xiaomi Mi 5, which is the flagship phone of 2016 for Xiaomi, the Chinese brand, then there's been a lot of hype around this phone, and rightly so, right? It's got Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processor, 3 GB of RAM, a fantastic Full HD display, and a great camera. Of course, all these specifications are on paper. In fact, for the benefit of all the amazing people out there, let me read the specifications once again. Alright, it's got a beautiful body, I'll give it that. The construction is absolutely gorgeous, especially the curved back that you have. It's got Corning Gorilla Glass 4 back panel as well. Alright, it's a dual SIM phone, of course. It's got an IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen, 5.15 inches, a very healthy 73.1% screen to body ratio, and that screen almost looks edge to edge. It's got a full HD display, 428 pixel per inch pixel density. It's got glass 4 on top as well. Adreno 530 GPU. It's got a Qualcomm MSM 8996 Snapdragon 820 chipset. Runs on Android Marshmallow, which is the latest version. So this is, I think some people call it the Prime version, which is non-Pro version. Remember, in the global flagship or the global unveil, Hugo Barra had unveiled two versions. One is, of course, the ceramic 128 GB, 4 GB RAM Xiaomi Mi 5 Pro version, which hasn't come to India yet. But the one we have in India is the 32 gig, 3 GB RAM version over here, which some people call it the Xiaomi Mi 5 Prime. It's fully loaded in terms of specifications and sensors. It's got a 16 megapixel rear camera, which has an f2.0 aperture. It's got a face detection, autofocus, optical image stabilization, which is 4-axis, dual LED flash, and it also has a good front-facing camera, which is a 4 megapixel camera, f2.0 aperture once again, and both cameras do full HD video as well. Alright, so that's pretty much a snapshot of the specifications. If you want a full detailed run through of the specs, I suggest go to GSM Arena or just go to the Xiaomi Mi 5 website and you'll get a ton of those. Alright, so I've got a ton of you joining in over here. Thank you so much for joining in. This is the Gadgetwala review of the Xiaomi Mi 5. Typically, I shoot my reviews in a fancy studio with fancy graphics, but this phone is different because there's been so much demand, so much hype, so much anticipation for this phone. I thought, let me do this live, let me do this interactive so you can keep asking me questions once I've gone over, my review pointers. Alright. A ton of people joining in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, lovely. Good to see people from the Xiaomi team India tuning in as well. Thank you so much for all your kind words. And I'm going to dive straight into the review of the Xiaomi Mi 5. First of all, when you just bring it out of the box, your mind will absolutely be blown. It looks like a super expensive phone. The build quality is super premium. It does not feel like a phone for which you would have spent 24,999 rupees. It looks like a phone that you would easily have spent 35 to 40,000 rupees on. So in terms of looks, finish, build quality, refinement, this feels like a super duper premium device. Full marks to Xiaomi's design team, engineering team for making a phone that looks this mind-blowing. If you keep the Mi 4 next to this, the Mi 4 literally looks like another generation from another alternate reality. So build quality, excelente. Display, full marks for putting in a Gorilla Glass 4 on the top, which is on front and at the rear. That gives it such a premium feel. And of course, Gorilla Glass 4, as I know from working with Corning, has amazing damage resistance. one of the biggest focus areas for Corning Gorilla Glass 4 has been drop resistance. So among the test conditions, the Gorilla Glass 4 survives almost 80% of drops in their drop test, which are of course lab tests to simulate real world road environment. Okay, that's about the cover glass. The display is fantastic. Upwards of 400 pixel per inch pixel density means that Musca, the details that you see, the pictures and the videos that you will watch on this are absolutely gorgeous. It's a great display, and fortunately for once it has very good sunscreen visibility. Good bright sunlight legibility is very important on a flagship device, and that is one thing उस department में ये पूरे marks कमा लेता है. Thank you so much, Swati. I love the t-shirt too. It is a Star Wars Millennium Falcon. If you go to my YouTube channel and if you check out the 4th of May daily vlog, then of course this t-shirt features in that as well. All right, moving on to things that go beyond just, they say beauty is not skin deep. So while it is a gorgeous looking device and it packs in on paper fantastic hardware, but I think this is a textbook example of how substandard software can completely ruin an incredible hardware experience. All right, let me elaborate a little bit about that. We've already spoken about how this has pretty much flagship specifications. Some people have been dumb enough to compare this with a Samsung Galaxy S7 or an iPhone or a phone that basically costs twice as much, because you cannot do that. You simply cannot. It's like saying, यार गाड़ी तो मारुति भी है, तो मारुति का मर्सिडीज के साथ रिव्यू कर लेते हैं, कंपेयर कर लेते हैं, because दोनों में 4 पहिए हैं, दोनों पेट्रोल पे चलती हैं और दोनों आपको पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी तक ले जाती हैं. Like, don't be that dumb, guys. Come on. This is a phone that costs 25,000 rupees, and you cannot compare this to any other super expensive flagship phone. There's a reason that Samsungs and iPhones sell for a premium. Of course, apart from their bloated, inflated egos, they also make genuinely incredible phones. You can't keep conning consumers, right? You have to give them bang for your buck. So having said that, now that I've, ranted about that, I get really irritated when people compare cheap phones with super expensive phones. But coming back to the Xiaomi Mi 5, why I think that, software has completely let this phone down. And trust me, I'm a very, very fair reviewer. I give phones their due and I praise them when they're doing a great job, but I will spare no words whatsoever when companies do a substandard effort or put out a product that may not really be ready, or the software may not really be optimized, and hence in turn harass consumers. I really think that the Xiaomi Mi 5 is or could have been a fantastic phone for Xiaomi. I don't think it is right now. I think it is a very substandard phone, especially when it comes to software. See, hardware is great, and hardware could really be future-proof for the next year and a half, 2 years, depending on how long you intend to use your phone. लेकिन जो software है, ये ऐसे लगता है कि भाई साहब कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब जल्दी थी Xiaomi इंडिया को ये फोन लॉन्च करने की, एंड बिल्कुल भी सॉफ्टवेयर ऑप्टिमाइजेशन किया नहीं गया है. ओके, it runs on Marshmallow, and I think that is the basic reason of a lot of issues with this phone. If you use a Mac computer just like I do, I use a MacBook Pro, I think, and I face this with a lot of Marshmallow phones, if you use this app called Android File Transfer, you will face a shit ton of issues for Marshmallow devices to be accessed and data to be transferred and copied on your Mac devices. It works very, very haphazard. अपना mood swing होता है तब काम करता है. With the Xiaomi Mi 5, I have not at all been able to transfer data using the Xiaomi Mi 5 USB-C cable, which in itself is a pain in the ass because, of course, it's a brand new standard and it's future proof. But जब आप एक ऐसा standard इस्तेमाल करते हैं जो पूरी दुनिया में कुछ चुनिंदा phones में है, और इंडिया में, we always believe in just going anywhere without our phone charger, because we know कि micro USB charger सबके पास होने वाला है. Of course, iPhone users की तो बात ही नहीं करते because that's a very, very small minority in a country like India. But micro USB chargers is the norm, and iPhone and Xiaomi Mi 5 का जो USB-C port है, that becomes very, very difficult. अगर आप थोड़े भी भुलक्कड़ हैं and you lose your USB-C cable, then all the best. You're going to have to spend some more money to get that. You can't just get any one. Okay, while USB-C has its advantage, practicality के लिहाज से it will still take time for it to become mainstream. Alright, so coming back to the software experience, MIUI is Xiaomi's own custom ROM, which is a skin on top of Android Marshmallow, and that, I don't know man, it just completely messes up the entire user experience. मुझे सीरियसली ऐसा लगा कि 2016 में मैं एक ऐसा फोन यूज कर रहा हूं जो एंड्रॉइड जिंजर ब्रेड पे चल रहा है. इतने ज्यादा स्क्रीन फ्रीज, इतना ज्यादा लैग, इतने सारे एप्स हैंग हो जाना, कैमरा मैल फंक्शनिंग, इंस्टाग्राम फ्रीज हो जाता है, स्नैपचैट फ्रीज हो जाता है, यूट्यूब अनरिस्पॉन्सिव हो जाता है, एसएमएस और व्हाट्सएप पे मैं जब टाइप कर रहा हूं टेक्स्ट फ्रीज हो जाता है. And I'm wondering that this is a phone that has 3 gigabytes of RAM, has a fantastic top of the line processor from Qualcomm, which is a Snapdragon 820, which is the processor that's being used in most flagship phones across brands. And why does it suck so much? And I think one of the biggest reasons is memory management. ये 3 GB मेमोरी को बिल्कुल भी ढंग से मैनेज नहीं कर पाता है. आई डोंट नो इफ द कोर एलोकेशन और द मेमोरी एलोकेशन इज हैपनिंग प्रॉपर्ली ऑन द चिपसेट एट द मदरबोर्ड लेवल, बिकॉज क्लियरली ऐसा नहीं लगता है. On the other hand, a 10,000 rupees Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 gives me a much better experience than the Xiaomi Mi 5. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, मेरा handle है @Ankit, आपको पता चला होगा that I had the Xiaomi Mi 5. The first handset that I had received was so ridiculous. उसमें इतने ज़्यादा issues थे that I finally got in touch with the Xiaomi India team and I said, hey, I totally understand that there might be a faulty handset that might have come to me. By the way, the handset that comes to us for review from Xiaomi is a completely sealed handset, unlike a lot of other companies जो probably handset लेके थोड़ा review करके या test करके फिर reviewers को भेजते हैं. So these handsets are as good as any other customer buying a phone online and that coming to their house by delivery. So I was a bit upset that अगर ये normal customer को आता ये phone, if he would have paid 25,000 rupees to buy this phone, my God, I would have probably wanted to, I would have probably want to kill someone. इतना ज़्यादा frustrating हो गया है. Most of the reviewers have given positive reviews of Mi5. Rajat Gaur, you are absolutely correct. But I think you have to spend a lot more time with the phone to realize that this phone is just not up to the mark. It is just not up to the mark. If you spend a couple of days with the phone, of course, everything's going to be hunky-dory and it's going to be fine. But that's not how I review phones. I spend easily a month or so with the phone. इसलिए मेरे reviews थोड़े देर से आते हैं compared to every other reviewer. Because मैं 3 से 4 हफ्ते बिताना believe करता हूँ हर एक phone के साथ. Because that's only then, जो पैरेललिज्म जो होता है, जहां पे मल्टीपल कोर्स एक साथ काम करते हैं, या जो रैम मैनेजमेंट होता है, मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट होता है, ये सारी चीजें आप तभी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं जब आप वक्त बिताते हैं, ढेरों एप्स डाउनलोड करते हैं, रियल वर्ल्ड कंडीशंस में इसको आप इस्तेमाल करते हैं. सो विच इज वाई आई टेक सम टाइम टू रिव्यू माई फोन्स. Xiaomi Mi 5 मैंने जितना वक्त बिताया है, इट हैज बीन अ मेजर पेन इन द एस फॉर मी. जब मैं फोन रिव्यू करता हूं, मैं उसे एक प्राइमरी डिवाइस बना देता हूं. I make it my daily driver, which means I'm not using my iPhone 6s Plus or I'm not using a Samsung Galaxy S7. I'm using this as my everyday device. And my God, I cannot tell you. एक छोटी सी बात है, WhatsApp, जिसके ऊपर हमारी पूरी जिंदगी चलती है. And my entire work, I run a video production company. I am reviewing devices. I am coordinating drives because I drive cars and bikes and I review them and I make videos with them. And my entire life and world revolves around WhatsApp because that is the central app for communication with every single person. And I get a lot of new people, PR companies, new friends, prospective business brands. Everyone messages on WhatsApp. Excuse me. You know what Xiaomi Mi 5 does on WhatsApp? Or that's what it did to me. I don't think it's going to happen with everyone, but what it did to me is... Let me show it to you. I'm not even sure if the contacts are back yet. Oh, well, they are. Maybe it has, some sense of, oh my God, I'm going to get reviewed, so let me act up. So basically, all the names that you see of your contacts, your saved contacts on WhatsApp, the names just disappear. The names disappear and all I can see is numbers. And of course, you have, the display picture, and it does this on its own. और आधे दिन बाद या एक दिन बाद, it will come back. The names will just come back. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? I've not spent like some 5,000 rupees or 500 rupees for a fuzzy, fake, scam-wala Freedom 251 phone. I'm spending 25,000 rupees on a phone like this. So this stuff is not acceptable at all. I've reset the phone. I've called for a second handset. So absolutely. That's amazing, Ankit Taneja. I'm really, really happy that you have a great experience with the Xiaomi Mi 5. Sometimes it may overheat, but rest all you say never happens. Ankit Taneja, that itself points out quality control issues. Aapko, thank God, and I'm really happy that you have a fantastic handset, that nothing is going wrong with it, and absolutely everything is working muska and smooth. And I'm really glad, and more customers need to be able to say that with conviction and confidence. And I really hope that, I would never have had to say these things. I mean, we don't have any personal agenda, we review phones objectively. Agar koi phone अच्छा है, तो हम उसे अच्छा कह देते. अगर वो बुरा है, तो हम उसे बुरा कहते हैं, ताकि लोगों के पैसे बच सकें, और they can be a little wary and a little more informed. Like I said, WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, some of the apps that I use every single day for work and for personal life, they keep hanging. I've had screen freezes जो मुझे Nokia के ज़माने की याद दिला देते थे. Data transfer is virtually impossible. I downloaded the MIUI application, जिसका by the way Mac computers के लिए कोई version ही नहीं है. That's right. If you have a Mac computer and if you have a Xiaomi phone, there is no official software, or at least I couldn't find it, no official software or a desktop client that basically lets you transfer data with the USB-C cable. What's my tattoo? That tattoo is a camera icon, because I love cameras. I love photography. Yes, I've used Push Bullet. I've used AirDroid. I've used Share It. I've used a ton of things. But Dhaval, the point is, if I'm spending 25,000 rupees on a brand new phone, there needs to be software for all possible personal computers out there. And Mac is not exactly Ubuntu or Linux or anything else which is so remote and so discreet and so not obsolete, my bad, I take that back. But something so niche. Mac computers are pretty mainstream, man. Anyway, I think MIUI version 7 does an awful job of being an Android skin that completely ruins the experience. The phone heats up like mad. Harshal, that's not entirely true. What do you mean those who have a Mac would not buy Xiaomi? My twin brother, Ankush Vengurlekar, has a MacBook Pro, and he's been a very, very happy user so far of the Xiaomi Mi4. Remember, he actually sold off his Samsung Galaxy S5 and bought the Xiaomi Mi 4 because he was more than happy with it. See, brands like Xiaomi have become what they have become because they give fantastic value for money at a price point जो unimaginable होता है बड़े brands के लिए. Mi 4, Mi 4i, Redmi Note 2, Redmi Note 3, these are fantastic phones. Of course, वो अब slow होने लगे हैं, and that is purely because of bad software. Software upgradation में stress नहीं कर सकता कितना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है for a fantastic superlative smartphone experience. So, a big request to all the people who are watching this, especially from the Xiaomi India team or Xiaomi global team, gotta get your software act together, guys. I really think कि 2 से 3 महीने और जाएंगे for the Xiaomi Mi 5 software to be mature enough to handle everything that it needs to and is supposed to handle. It pains me, when companies rush to launch a phone where the software is not optimized. Of course, I've already updated the phone once or twice. The new firmware upgrade has come through, but that still hasn't solved most of my software issues, which is why an Apple iPhone is an Apple iPhone. When you buy it and you use it out of the box, it works absolutely fine. पहले दिन पे Apple iPhone वैसे ही काम करेगा, उतनी effectively, उतनी efficiently काम करेगा जितना वो 100th या 300th या 500th day पे काम करेगा, which is why Apple iPhone is the gold standard or the benchmark, which is what Samsung Galaxy S6 and S7 has also established. But I really think that, Xiaomi should have paid a little more attention on the software front, because that completely ruins the experience of what could have been an otherwise beautiful handset. The build quality is so good, the hardware specifications are so good, and everyone keeps saying, maybe we just need to wait for the 128GB, 4GB RAM version, which is the Xiaomi Mi 5 Pro. But that's not how you do it, Xiaomi. That is just not how you do it. I had such great expectations from the Mi 5, and I'm personally so upset because I have recommended the Mi 4 and the Mi 4i to so many people. If you watch my reviews, just Google Ankit Vengurlekar, Xiaomi Mi 4 or Xiaomi Mi 4i. And I have sung praises about these phones. If you go to my YouTube channel and just check the Redmi Note 3 review, you'll see what a big fan I am of that phone. And I'm recommending it to everyone left, right and center who wants to buy the phone below 10,000 rupees. But sadly, Xiaomi Mi 5, 2 thumbs down. I'm not recommending this. Terrible software bug, heats up a lot, very, very unreliable performance, and of course, the worst buying process ever. Xiaomi really needs to crack their buying process. This whole invite and all of that, flash sales, it is so 2014, man. 2016 में आपको customer को dictate नहीं करना चाहिए कि वो phone कैसा खरीद सके. If I have the money and if I want to buy the phone, I need to buy it right now. I'm not going to wait for you to decide how and when I can buy the phone. So that is the Gadgetwala Xiaomi Mi 5 review. I'm very, very upset, very, very disappointed. I really thought that the Mi 5 is going to be a crackerjacker of a phone, but unfortunately, I'm sad to report it is not. It's an unreliable phone, and I will not recommend spending 25,000 rupees on it. Do you guys have any questions? Please write away. HTC 10, looking up to it. Manish K. Singh, I am not. MIUI 8 is coming. Jatin Joshi, thank you. The only thing that I need to sit and wait for, okay, Jatin Joshi, is a new episode of Game of Thrones. I do not need to sit and wait for a firmware upgrade or a software upgrade for an operating system by a manufacturer who does not respect quality updates. I'm sorry, that is just uncool. In my books, I don't respect that. Dhawal Khanna, G5 or S7 Edge? Wow, G5 hasn't really launched here yet. S7 Edge, abso-freaking-lutely. What a muska phone that is. Mi 5 versus Lenovo Vibe X3. Vibe X3, I haven't reviewed it personally, Yash, but I think anything will be better than the Mi 5. Can these problems be resolved by software update? Praveen Kumar Thakur, yes, absolutely. ये तमाम जो issues हैं, ये software के ही issues हैं. And अगर Xiaomi सुन रहा है और customers के ओपिनियन की थोड़ी भी देखरेख करता है, सो होपफुली बहुत जल्द सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट में ये सॉल्व कर देगा. यस, प्रियेश वखारे, कौन से ऐप के बारे में आप मदद चाहते हैं बताइएगा. OnePlus 3, व्हाट अबाउट इट? मनीष सिंह, अभी तक आया नहीं है, ऑफ कोर्स. Alright, so that's it, guys. This was the Gadgetwala review. Thank you so much for giving me half an hour of your life today. And it's a Monday, so I understand it's a busy day. But I just wanted to put this out there. And I wanted to do this live because, so many of you have been asking for the Xiaomi Mi 5 review. So here it is. You will also find this on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and look up Ankit Vengurlekar or just type Gadgetwala. And you can also follow my daily vlogs over there. I'm having a lot of fun putting these together. Oh, you should also go over to my website, www.thegadgetwala.in. That's my website, on which I've put together a fantastic post on 5 Instagram add-ons. That's right, 5 amazing apps that all Instagram-loving people should put it. My brand new writer, Isha Chitnis, has put this article together. Big up to her and big thanks to her for doing that. Xiaomi are overconfident. It looks like these Chinese companies are sort of going into a phase where quality control seems like an issue. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Hopefully they fix all the software issues and also send out a public apology to all the people who've bought the Xiaomi Mi 5 already and are facing software buggy issues. Adios, amigos. I'd love to know what you guys thought about this, and write to me about whatever else you'd like me to pay my attention to. Take care, have a fantastic day, have a Chumeshwari Monday and a Chumeshwari Hafta. Love you guys.